लेकिन मैं फिर से कहूंगी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को कि अरविंद केजरीवाल एक इंसान नहीं है। अरविंद केजरीवाल एक आइडिया है, अरविंद केजरीवाल एक विचार है। आप एक अरविंद केजरीवाल को गिरफ्तार करोगे तो सैकड़ों अरविंद केजरीवाल इस देश के संविधान को बचाने के लिए खड़े हो जाएंगे।
हो पा रहा है अरविंद जी से बात में कुछ बात
अभी कोई संपर्क नहीं है।
गिरफ्तार हो जाते हैं तो क्या आप लोग यहाँ प्रदर्शन करेंगे, क्या करेंगे?
देखिए अभी तो देखते हैं क्या होता है।
अभी पुलिस आपको जाने दे रही है या नहीं?
नहीं, हम तो अभी यहीं पे वेट कर रहे हैं।
They're saying that Arvind Kejriwal is not just an individual, he is also an idea, and there will be many other Arvind Kejriwals who will stand up across the country, and Delhi will turn out. Aam Aadmi Party MLAs urging AAP supporters, AAP workers to gather near Arvind Kejriwal's residence, but there is heavy police bandobast. Delhi police and rapid action force personnel have been brought in buses to cordon off that entire area. No presence of the CRPF yet. What does that imply? And there is an update coming through that the ED officials have started questioning Mr. Kejriwal. Anshul and Arunima live with us from very close to Mr. Kejriwal's residence. Yes, Arunima.
Yes, so the confirmation finally coming in that ED is questioning Arvind Kejriwal. The questioning is happening in connection with the Delhi liquor policy scam. And the ED officials, I must tell you, are being extremely tight-lipped. However, they are citing precedent of what really happened when K. Kavita was questioned. A similar trajectory was followed there. K. Kavita, initially there were search warrants with which ED officials reached there. Her premises was searched for about 2.5 hours, and subsequently an arrest memo was served on her and she was brought to Delhi. There were a lot of questions raised as to why without a transit remand she was brought to Delhi, but the ED said that it is an agency, a federal agency, and therefore it does not require a transit remand. So that precedent is being pointed out, that the IO in his or her wisdom does have the power under Prevention of Money Laundering Act to take any person, and that could be Mr. Kejriwal as well, to the ED headquarters if they deem it fit. And if the IO deems it fit, then the process of custodial interrogation can also be carried out. So that is not being ruled out at this stage. And the precedent being cited also is giving ominous sign as far as Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. At this stage, factually, what do we know? That the ED team is present at Mr. Kejriwal's residence. Questioning is on. He's being asked questions about the liquor policy scam. There is heavy deployment of the RAF, which is the Riot Action Force of the CRPF. So if any untoward incident happens, there is enough police deployment, there's enough RAF deployment there, and that is giving you an indication of what ED is preparing.
True. Now, if the Rapid Action Force of the CRPF is present and that was ratified by Atishi herself as she was speaking to the media, then it's significant because it may not just stop at mere questioning. There could be more, ladies and gentlemen. There is heavy cordoning, and Rupashri Nanda telling us that Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's legal team is in touch with the Registrar of the Honorable Supreme Court, trying to push for an urgent plea or a listening and to try and bring the matter to the notice of the Chief Justice of India. But Anshul is with us. Anshul, what's the update on ground? The questioning has begun. Do we have any more inclination or indication of what could happen? The Aam Aadmi Party MLAs and Aam Aadmi Party leaders are saying that this is all just the background work or the groundwork that will move into Mr. Kejriwal's arrest some time from now.
So yes, if you see the manner in which the entire investigation has been carried out by the Enforcement Directorate, 9 summons had already been served to the Delhi Chief Minister. Today was the day when the Delhi Chief Minister was supposed to depose himself before the Enforcement Directorate, but today as well he decided to skip the summons, and once the setback was received by Arvind Kejriwal from the Delhi High Court, finally the Enforcement Directorate team has reached his residence along with senior officials of the Delhi Police. They have a search warrant with them, is what they have informed the Delhi Chief Minister, and along with that, the questioning Delhi Chief Minister has started. Now, why is the questioning of Delhi Chief Minister important in this entire matter? Because remember, in the K. Kavita remand paper, it was very, very clearly mentioned that K. Kavita was definitely in touch with the Delhi Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister, and also the Enforcement Directorate has already come on record that Arvind Kejriwal is the kingpin, could be the kingpin of this entire alleged scam, and that is the reason why the Enforcement Directorate does not want to waste any more time, and hence they have started questioning. What will eventually happen, that is something that remains to be seen. But yes, Rapid Action Force has been called in by the Delhi police is what we can confirm, and this has been called in as it is expected that there could be protests that could broke out outside the residence of the Chief Minister by the workers of the Aam Aadmi Party, and hence to maintain that law and order, rapid action force has been deployed. We are still awaiting for confirmation if at all the Enforcement Directorate has also brought the team of CRPF that it generally takes along with it during raids. Once the CRPF team is also deployed, then it could be more and more probable that strict action could actually be taken against the Delhi Chief Minister. It remains to be seen how will the Chief Minister respond to the questions that are being asked by the...
Right, we've just got an update from Arunima. Arunima, there is more. The ED wants to take Mr. Kejriwal along with it.
Yes, the Enforcement Directorate investigating officer feels that at the Chief Minister's residence, the questioning is not happening properly. They want to question him at the ED office. Now, this has been part of their 9 summons that they have sent as well. They've repeatedly asked Kejriwal to come to ED office. His stance has been that I'm available on video conferencing, but the ED-IO had taken a call that for questioning on video conferencing is not possible. The PMLA is very clear. The Prevention of Money Laundering Act says that the questioning will happen at the IO's office, which will be the ED headquarters in this case. It will be videographed and it will be recorded, and that evidence will be kept. So that being reiterated by the investigating team that they would want the Chief Minister to go to the ED headquarters and questioning to continue there. Once again, I have to point out to that precedent that has been recently set in the case of K. Kavita. Similarly, the IO had gone there, similar searches had been carried out, and the IO felt that the questioning must continue at the ED headquarters. Because K. Kavita was not willing, so arrest memo was served, and without transit remand, she was brought to Delhi and produced in court in the next 15 hours or so. So that precedent is being underlined, even though ED headquarters is extremely tight-lipped about what is their next course of action as far as need for custodial interrogation is concerned.
Well, Raghav Chadha of the Aam Aadmi Party has also tweeted कि लोकसभा चुनाव से ठीक पहले अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को गिरफ्तार करने की बहुत बड़ी साजिश चल रही है. He writes, केजरीवाल जी के साथ करोड़ों लोगों का आशीर्वाद है, कोई बाल भी भाका नहीं कर सकता. दिल्ली और पंजाब में हुए शानदार कामों की चर्चा आज पूरी दुनिया में हो रही है. केजरीवाल के शरीर को गिरफ्तार कर सकते हो, लेकिन केजरीवाल की सोच को नहीं. नाउ आतिशी, सौरभ भारद्वाज and now Raghav Chadha are saying you can arrest Kejriwal, you can take him away physically, but the idea that is Arvind Kejriwal, you cannot shut that down and you cannot take that away. So you cannot arrest that idea. So has the Aam Aadmi Party leadership somewhere resigned to the fact that Arvind Kejriwal will be taken into ED custody today? That's the question. They are alleging that they are all out there to arrest. So far, the ED has not even mentioned the word arrest. They are saying, Mr. Kejriwal, as per the PMLA and the clauses under which you have got to be summoned and questioned, you have to come to the ED office because you need to be questioned as per procedure. The questioning will be videographed. There cannot be a conversation by teleconference or remote, and it is not convenient for us to come interrogate you or question you at your residence. So you have to come with us to your residence. Now we've got the RAF deployment outside Arvind Kejriwal's residence. Akash Sharma now just getting us these details. These are live visuals of now some increased police bandobast present there, senior officials, and it looks like RAF and already in action gear. These are visuals that we've got in action gear. RAF police personnel are also deployed. More than 4 buses as claimed by Atishi as she was speaking to the media outside Mr. Kejriwal's residence. And there you go. These are live pictures that are coming through at this point. The allegation that this is happening right ahead of the elections, ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. If we look at the timeline, the first summon was given to Mr. Kejriwal back on November 2nd, 2023. 9 summons that he skipped in this matter. November 2nd, 2023, Kejriwal skips the first ED summons and he goes for a roadshow in Madhya Pradesh. At that time, the excuse was there are elections there. Now the argument is that there are elections impending. But 9 summons between November to March already. Arunima with us. Yes, Arunima.
So I just want to point out what the ED officials have said to the point that we're just making, Anand. As far as the timing of all these searches are concerned, what ED is saying is that these searches and these summons are not being thought of by the IO just now. Like you have been pointing out, since November, ED has repeatedly sent summons to Arvind Kejriwal, and matter has come to this point where Lok Sabha elections have been announced and they're just round the corner. April 19th is when the first phase and these scenes are coming out from the ED, from the Arvind Kejriwal residence where ED is present. ED officials are pointing out that this can't be called political because we have not pushed matter to this moment. We have been wanting to question Arvind Kejriwal for some time now, but it is he who evaded summon. And because the High Court today, the Delhi High Court
Yes.
today refused to intervene and did not give any interim protection as was sought, the IO's action is perfectly within the ambit of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Now, when ED officials were asked that Kejriwal's legal team is wanting to knock at the doors of the Supreme Court, what ED officials are saying is that is perfectly within their legal right. They have the right to go ask for protection from the Supreme Court, but till the time there is a stay order from Supreme Court against ED or there is some kind of interim protection, the ED IO's action is perfectly legal under PMLA.
Well, there is high drama. There is Saurabh Bhardwaj speaking again.
और अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के घर के सामने आई है और जिस तरीके से यहाँ पे डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है, ऐसा प्रतीत हो रहा है कि उनको तुरंत जो है ईडी गिरफ्तार करके ले जाना चाह रही है। हालांकि शुरू में ये कहा जा रहा था कि सिर्फ सम्मन देने आए हैं, मगर मुझे लगता है कि ये बात झूठ है। सम्मन देने का सिर्फ एक बहाना है। अंदर सर्च चल रही है। मुख्यमंत्री जी के और उनके ऑफिस के लोगों के पास फ़ोन का एक्सेस नहीं है, बिना फ़ोन के हैं, और अंदर सर्च ऑपरेशन जो है ईडी का चल रहा है। अब वो सही है गलत है, मगर अरेस्ट करने की तैयारी अब पूरी तरीके से देखी जा सकती है। जितना डर अरविंद केजरीवाल को आज भारत की सत्ता को से लग रहा है, भारत की सत्ता को लग रहा है, अरविंद जी से लग रहा है, ये बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है और ये एक अत्याचार है। ये एक छोटी सी पार्टी जो अभी आई, उसको कुचलने की, उसको ख़त्म करने की पूरी केंद्र सरकार अपनी पूरी ताकत से उनको ख़त्म करने की कोशिश कर रही है। मैं फिर ये कहूँगा, अरविंद केजरीवाल को गिरफ्तार आप कर लोगे, मगर उनकी सोच को आप गिरफ्तार नहीं कर पाओगे। जितना अत्याचार करोगे, उनकी सोच उतनी ज़्यादा गली गली मोहल्ले मोहल्ले में फैलेगी।
थैंक यू सर।
Right, so that was Saurabh Bhardwaj once again saying all indications are that Arvind Kejriwal is not just being questioned inside, that he is, the grounds are being readied for him to be taken into custody. Now, internally, the inside sources telling our reporters here at News 18, Arunima and Anshul getting us the information that the ED team has said that we need to take you to our office and question you there. Now, will that be with a formal arrest registry, or are they asking the Home Minister to cooperate and go along with them? Now, both are two different aspects, ladies and gentlemen. So, we'll wait for the developments. But so far, there is solid, heavy bandobast, high drama outside Arvind Kejriwal's residence. AAP, MLAs and some of the supporters and workers trying to get there. But there is a clear cordon that's been created with a heavy presence of Delhi police and also some RAF personnel. Ilesh Shukla, lawyer in the Supreme Court, Piyush Joshi, political analyst, Ravula Sridhar Reddy, spokesperson of the BRS, and Charu Pragya of the BJP with us. Namaste and Jai Hind, and thank you for joining us on short notice here on the right stand, but it's all happening as we speak, minute by minute. Mr. Ilesh Shukla, how would you see? The court has said that they will not intervene. The court, the Delhi High Court today, after a long hearing, said we will not at this stage interfere in the proceedings. How would you interfere?
The High Court has rightly said that they will not interfere. The reason being, the ED is a statutory authority. Now the number of summons have been issued by the ED, and Arvind Kejriwal is deliberately shying away from appearing before the ED. So no court, including even the Supreme Court, has now passed the detailed guidelines with respect to the honor of this summons and the warrants. So you are the chief minister of a state. Instead of appearing before the enforcement director, you are deliberately shying away. What does that mean?
Piyush Joshi?
Well, I'm not going to get into the legal aspects of it because I'm not a lawyer, I'm a physician by profession. So I think it is best left to the courts and the lawyers to determine whether it is legally correct or incorrect. What I am here to discuss is the larger debate, because if you look at it, today we had the top brass of the Congress party, organizing a press conference saying that their accounts have been frozen. So, enlighten me if you can. This is how the democracy functions: that you freeze the accounts of the largest political party at the eve of the largest democratic exercise, that is the Lok Sabha election, and you try to arrest. I'm not sure whether he's going to be arrested or not, but you try to raid the premises of the convener of the fastest growing political party, which also is a national party, and who's going to give you a tough fight in Punjab and Delhi, at least, if not in Haryana and Gujarat. So it's a sad day for me as a person, as a supporter of Aam Aadmi Party, as a supporter of free and fair elections and democracy. We have seen what the Enforcement Directorate did in case of electoral bonds. It worked as an executive arm of the Bharatiya Janata Party. It raided the premises to facilitate the funding for the Bharatiya Janata Party through the electoral bond route. And now it is to the plain eye, it is very clearly visible the activity in the cases on the opposition leaders versus the activity in cases of Hemant Biswa Sarma and Ajit Dada Pawar and likes of them.
See, you can draw parallels as to what happened with them to what happened with that, but you cannot ignore some fact.
Why can't
you can? You must draw.
We are discussing the political aspect.
One minute, Piyush Joshi. But you should also accept the facts as they are. It's very convenient to say that this is happening on the cusp of the Lok Sabha elections. But the first summons to Mr. Kejriwal was way back on the 2nd of November 2023. At that time, Mr. Kejriwal skipped the summons and went for a roadshow ahead of the elections in Madhya Pradesh, where the Aam Aadmi Party lost its deposit on most of the seats. Challenge in Gujarat state as a Gujarat Assembly elections, the AAP lost its deposit on all of the seats. Now, Arvind Kejriwal skipped the second ED summons on the 21st of December 2023. At that time, he said, I have to go for Vipassana. I've been doing it for 3 decades now, so I cannot skip it. I have to go for Vipassana. So at that time, it was Vipassana, December 21st. January 3rd, 2024, he cited Republic Day, Rajya Sabha elections and Republic Day celebrations, preparations on the 3rd of January. Then, 18 January, he arrived in Goa for a 3-day visit but skipped the summons again. 2nd February, staged a protest against Chandigarh mayoral polls but skipped the ED summons against him. Asked to appear on Feb 26th. And Kejriwal skipped the 6th ED summons. 6th ED summons. And AAP says ED should wait for a court order. 7th ED summon, 26th Feb. 4th of March, ED wants to arrest and not question. That's what the Aam Aadmi Party said. Sir, from November to now, the excuses have changed from the Aam Aadmi Party, not from the Enforcement Directorate, who have stayed steadfast on the fact that we want to call you because we want to question you. Ananya Bhatnagar with us now. Ananya, can you hear me? We're getting the live output from where you are.
You can see.
Take us through the pictures,
Right. This is Kejriwal's residence, and you can see the heavy police deployment. In fact, the RAF2 has been deployed here. A very heavy police battalion deployment here, so that no kind of a law and order situation erupts. But the clear question that remains is, Anand, 9 summons, all of them skipped, approached the trial court, approached the High Court, no relief, no interim protection from arrest, and finally the Enforcement Directorate's team reaching the Delhi Chief Minister's residence. The Enforcement Directorate before the High Court cites that he's somebody who has flouted the law even after being a public servant, even after being the Chief Minister of the National Capital Territory and being a public figure. He should not have done so. Finally, the Enforcement Directorate action and now reaching the Delhi Chief Minister's residence, and Anshul was actually reporting very, very clearly and categorically, his questioning in this particular case has already begun. Remember, the charges against Mr. Arvind Kejriwal are, number one, that he is somebody who had asked Ms. K. Kavita to pay almost 100 crores, of which 50 crores she had asked Mr. Manguta Reddy, who was an MP from the YSRCP, to get done, while the other half was being arranged by her own CA and her own team members. Other allegations against Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi Chief Minister, is that he had called Mr. Vijay Nair as his own boy. Vijay Nair seems to be one of the main conspirators in this particular case. Not only that, he had, very, very clearly and categorically,
he was the Chief Minister.
He was the Chief Minister, and the excise policy, whether it had come in, though it was Mr. Manish Sisodia was the Delhi Deputy Chief Minister, but very clearly and categorically he also had a role to play, is what the ED goes on to say. In fact, the ED also says that various kickbacks were received, and it was a conspiracy hatched by the top leaders of AAP. Manish Sisodia, Sanjay Singh, already inside jail. while Arvind Kejriwal was the next one. He had been given 9 summons, all of them skipped. Tried to, approach, in fact, the Delhi High Court. The Delhi High Court, though, issued notice to his petition challenging those summons. But a tough questions to ask. The big question was, why have you not appeared so far before then?
So huge drama as Ananya is getting us those details. Now the CRPF along with the RAF have been deployed at the residence, outside the residence of the Delhi Chief Minister. RAF has been deployed at the first barricade where people are being stopped. CRPF deployed right outside the gate of the Chief Minister. This means that Mr. Kejriwal will be taken to the Enforcement Directorate office. Now, if he cooperates and he willingly goes with them, then the ED will take him along with him. If he refuses to cooperate, then they will have to take him into custody and then take him along with them. And perhaps that would be under the custody or detention of the Enforcement Directorate. What's going to happen next? We'd wait and watch very carefully. Quickly taking you through some of the reasons why this has come to fruition or come to pass today. First is November 2023 onwards, Mr. Kejriwal and his team have been scoffing at the ED, calling the ED names and refusing to acknowledge the summons or adhere to the summons. 9 summons have been sent, multiple representations at the courts, no relief so far. The ED team is trying, the CM's team, as we are given to understand, the legal team is trying to ready an urgent mention in the notice and bring it to the notice of the Honorable Chief Justice of India and the Supreme Court. They are in touch with the Supreme Court Registrar. But so far, these are visuals from outside Kejriwal's residence where AAP supporters are now chanting slogans in favor of Kejriwal. AAP MLAs who had rushed to Mr. Kejriwal's residence. Now we are given to, we'll try and see if the Delhi mayor has tried to come there. The Delhi mayor, again, an Aam Aadmi Party candidate, nominee. Now the Delhi mayor is present, so slowly more supporters, more AAP workers trying to come there. There is sloganeering and already one carefully crafted statement that is coming through from every single MLA or political prominent voice of the Aam Aadmi Party, that you may take away Arvind Kejriwal physically, but you cannot arrest the idea of Kejriwal.
अभी तक ये जानकारी है कि 6 से 8 जो ऑफिसर्स हैं वो माननीय मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के निवास के अंदर हैं और सर्च जारी है। मैं आपको बताना चाहती हूँ, बाहर पूरी पैरामेडिक फोर्स लगा दी गई है, इतनी पुलिस लगा दी गई है और पुलिस आने से रोक रही है। मुझे लगता है एक दिल्ली, राजधानी दिल्ली के सीएम के निवास के बाहर ये सब चीज हो रही है, पुलिस लगाना, कोई ऐसी चीज या दिल्ली की जनता का जो प्यार है, दिल्ली की जनता का जो आशीर्वाद है, वो माननीय मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के साथ बना हुआ है। दिल्ली में दिल्ली की जनता जानती है कि जो केजरीवाल जी को गिरफ्तार किया जा सकता है, पर उनके विचारों को गिरफ्तार नहीं किया जा सकता। जो उनकी काम की राजनीति है, उनको नहीं रोका जा सकता।
But ma'am, 9 summons skipped very clear and categorically. High Court also want to say that no coercive action would be, not granted to Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. Is it not flouting of the law?
See, this entire matter is going on into the court, and still today the court, the court has given the notice to the ED, and ED is supposed to answer on 22nd of April. So why there is so hurry? Why there is so hurry, and why such kind of raids in the capital city of Delhi with the CM is happening? And see how much of the police has been deployed.
But ma'am, if we see the trajectory of events, there were 9 summons.
देखिए, जिस प्रकार से अभी तक जैसे कार्रवाई पूरी करी गई है और आज भी जैसी कार्रवाई चल रही है, तो उम्मीद है उन्हें गिरफ्तार किया जा सकता है। पर मैं आज मीडिया के माध्यम से बताना चाहती हूं कि दिल्ली की जनता का प्यार और आशीर्वाद माननीय मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के साथ बना हुआ है और साथ ही गिरफ्तार किया जा सकता है, पर उनके विचारों को गिरफ्तार नहीं किया जा सकता, काम की राजनीति को रोका नहीं जा सकता।
Idea of Arvind Kejriwal or the Soch cannot be arrested even if you arrest Arvind Kejriwal physically is something which all AAP leaders, including the Delhi Mayor Shelley Oberoi, are saying. The inside information, ladies and gentlemen, as confirmed by Atishi also, is that all Aam Aadmi Party workers or aides or helps for the Delhi Chief Minister, that is his staff, and including him, their phones have been taken away. So they don't have access to their phones. So the AAP leaders outside have no information of what is happening inside. We are given to understand that the Enforcement Directorate is conducting a search because they had a valid search warrant in their Delhi Chief Minister's residence, and they are now intending to take Mr. Arvind Kejriwal along with them, and as per procedures written under the PMLA or stated under the PMLA, they want to question him at the ED office, and that questioning will be videographed. November 2nd, 2023, that was the first summon was given to Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. Since then, 9 summons that have been brazenly evaded, rebuffed and even rebuked by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party so far. And that's the reason why we are seeing this development today, on a day when the Delhi High Court also refused to give any interim relief to Mr. Kejriwal from coercive action, or that means arrest or being taken into custody by the Enforcement Directorate. Rahula Sridhar Reddy of the BRS with us, Charu Pragya of the BJP with us, even as allegations are coming that you are putting democracy in jail, Ms. Charu Pragya. When I say you, the BJP, by using the tools, the institutional tools at its beck and call, as alleged by the opposition.
Anand, good evening. See, this is something which CM Kejriwal ji and the Aam Aadmi Party has gotten onto themselves. Absolutely that and nothing else. Who asked them to formulate a liquor policy that only favors a few? Who asked them to allow blacklisted companies to also bid? Who told them to raise the commission up to 12% and yet cause loss to the exchequer? Now, Supreme Court has made an observation. There is a money trail of 350 crores which can be traced to the Aam Aadmi Party coffers. It went so far ahead as to say that maybe the entire political party should be made a party in this case. That's how scathing the remarks have been. The ministers of Aam Aadmi Party are not being given bail, and while they were out, they were damaging and destroying evidence repeatedly, and we have discussed that enough times. Vijay Nair has spoken against the Aam Aadmi Party leaders, including Mr. Kejriwal. Dinesh Arora has done that. K. Kavita has done that. Now is the time when the nose is tightening, and I find these kind of rhetorics which are being used by the Aam Aadmi Party leaders right now very, very sad, also hilarious. People are not falling for this ploy. People will not fall for this ploy because the evidence points otherwise. And if you were such a fair man, why did you not turn up on the first summon itself? Today you question the timing, but the timing was entirely in your hand. You controlled the timing. You could have turned up after the first summon, but you didn't, not after the second or the third. It has taken 9 summons, and today for the High Court of Delhi to rebuke you and refuse to grant you protection, that finally ED is at your doorstep.
Well, we've just got an update, and I'm going to check if Arunima is with us. The Enforcement Directorate has seized 4 or 5 phones and 2 tablets from the Chief Minister's residence. So they have not only restricted access, they have seized them and they have taken it under their possession, ladies and gentlemen, even as more supporters are coming through. Let's just quickly get a word from Rahula Sridhar Reddy. Mr. Reddy, thank you very much. Let me ask you this, for speaking with us. Let me ask you this. It's all coming through because there were certain members from the South Bloc who have turned approvers and who said that it is Mr. Kejriwal who made that demand of 100 crore rupees, of which 50 crore were paid via a YSRCP member.
See, I mean, there are many statements actually that are being leaked or said to the press. Every day a new number comes out. But what exactly has happened, nobody knows till now. Only ED and BJP believed in it. Even today, we say that all these numbers and losses that are portrayed are imaginary. And going by the visuals I'm seeing on your channel at the Delhi Chief Minister's residence, I don't think, rather I'll be surprised if they don't arrest him. But this is kind of a rerun what happened at Kavita's residence. They just... today the court also has actually posted this case for 22nd of April for hearing for a response of ED for what Sri Kejriwal has asked for. Even then, and that's what I'm also saying.
But the court has not given a stay. The court has not said that the ED cannot proceed.
Has not given a stay.
And neither has the court given any protection as sought by Mr. Kejriwal and his lawyer against any coercive action.
Understood.
The first summons to Mr. Kejriwal was in November 2023. The second summon, the excuse given is that I want to go for Vipassana. The first time the excuse given was I have got elections in Madhya Pradesh and I have got to go for a road show. The third excuse given in January is that I've got Rajya Sabha elections and Republic Day preparations. So who was giving excuses?
Anand, I'll not be surprised if BJP or anyone say the maximum summons can be given by ED or 9. After that, they will arrest. I mean, look at the timing of this arrest. Look at the timing of arrest of the Kavita ji. Exactly a day before the announcement of the poll schedule. Now it is Kejriwal ji. So it's clear that during the elections time, they don't want us to campaign properly or focus on the elections. They wanted to weaken the opposition, or they wanted to, kind of create a phobia in the, opposition opponents. So this is the plan that, is being implemented. Unfortunately, ED, CBI, IT is being used to, threaten the opposition leaders. Why is there only one case?
Let Ms. Charu Pragya respond to this allegation.
I want to ask you, Anand,
Yes, please.
Is there only one case active in the entire country from ED side? There are 4 or 5 leaders from Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena faction were given summons. Cases were booked on them by ED. Not even 1 year. You can see, the moment they joined Shinde's faction, now ED is silent. Cases are not active. Nobody served them summons. No arrest made. I mean, what is this? This is a selective targeting of the opposition leaders.
Okay, so the opposition or the leaders can ignore summons by the ED. They can call them names. They can say an independent body. Its integrity can be questioned. They can be laughed at, rebuked, and scoffed at, and said that I don't care for your summons. All of that can be said by leaders who are summoned. But the Enforcement Directorate, after 9 summons, tells somebody you have to come to our office as per the PMLA procedure, so that we can question you at the investigating officer's office while it is all videographed, because that's the stated procedure as per the PMLA. That is all targeting of leaders. That is unfair. Opposition leaders can do whatever they want, or the leaders who are being summoned, they can do whatever they want, but the Enforcement Directorate cannot follow protocol.
That I am saying every individual, every citizen of this country has the right to question the authorities and question the procedures that they follow. Even the courts have admitted the plea of Kavita ji yesterday. The challenge of
admitting a plea does not mean that you've got to stay, sir. Admitting a plea does not mean that the ED is restricted from doing its job. There is no court order that restricts the Enforcement Directorate from following procedure or doing its job. Charu Pragya, quick response, and then we'll have to take a break before we come back to this.
I'll be very quick. So now this narrative is very loose, and I take great offense at the opposition leaders painting the lakhs of employees working in the ED like this to suit their convenience. Now PMLA says a certain thing, you are supposed to follow that. Another very important thing for you to remember here is that if all the arrows did not point towards CM Kejriwal, then you could have said any of this. But before your alliances happened, before the India alliance happened, even the Congress party was attacking Aam Aadmi Party on the Delhi liquor scam. That is a fact. Your favorite people have turned approvers. That is a fact. Money trail has been found and it has been used to fund party programs. That also is a fact. And every observation of the Supreme Court, you take it at convenience. See, what they're doing here, Anand, is if the Supreme Court passes an order which is in their favor, in their opinion, for example, they will support it. When it doesn't suit them, they don't support it. And I'm going to quote my Honorable Home Minister here and tell you that only 5% of the ED investigations are on political people. Merely 5%. 95% of the times, the ED is doing its job, which is attacking black money, and that's exactly what is happening here as well.
You are arresting us, but you're not arresting them. Does not absolve those who are being pulled up by the Enforcement Directorate of wrongdoing. And this is after there are others who have turned approver, and under the PMLA and certain stated procedures, which the court has also been convinced of, and that's why there's no interim relief that's been provided to the Delhi Chief Minister. And you can just go back over the last since November till date, the utterances of the Delhi Chief Minister himself. The ED very clearly saying we are not calling the national convener of the Aam Aadmi Party. We are calling Arvind Kejriwal the individual. And that's something that the ED stated in court very clearly today. We've got to take a very short break. There's more drama there. Media has been asked to clear the area right outside Mr. Kejriwal's residence. It's all coming to some very, very intense drama there. Does Mr. Kejriwal agree to cooperate? And will he be just taken along by the ED? Or will he be detained and then taken by the Enforcement Directorate? Stay with us on this continuous coverage. We'll be right back.
Co-powered by
team. We have seen standoffs when the Enforcement Directorate has knocked on Kejriwal's doors or the Delhi government's doors to arrest other top ministers. So this is now becoming a recurrent theme. And of course, Mr. Kejriwal has approached the courts seeking clarity on whether he can even present himself before the Enforcement Directorate. And unfortunately for him, he has got no protection from arrest, at least from the High Court. He can, of course, still move the Supreme Court. Not satisfied with this order. But I just want to quickly go across to Arunima. Arunima, a big jolt from the Delhi High Court earlier today, and the ED wasting no time. The ED wasting no time.
Yes, and Enforcement Directorate is confirming that yes, their officials are at Arvind Kejriwal's doorstep, but just so that there is no confusion, because in the past there has always been, identity crisis, multiple agencies probing these cases. But ED is confirming that yes, indeed, it is their officials who are there. The clarity that is being given by Enforcement Directorate at this stage is that after what happened at High Court, the investigating team, had no legal bar on them from proceeding as per what the IO thought was best under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, Section 50. Notice has been given in two cases. One is the liquor policy scam, where 9 summons have gone to Kejriwal. 10th summon is on its way, we are told, by the Enforcement Directorate. Kejriwal refuses to appear again. There are other legal remedies that the ED is already looking at. But there's also a Delhi Jal Board case in which he was asked to appear on the 18th and he refused. What the presence of Delhi police, DCP rank officers there also means is that the ED is apprehending there could be some kind of a law and order issue. We have seen, be it the arrest of Hemant Soren, or be it the presence of ED officials at Sandesh Khari, or in Tamil Nadu, they've had to rely on central forces for the protection of ED officials. In this case also, we are waiting for ED to officially tell us why are they there, under what case they are serving, their summons are proceeding against Arvind Kejriwal. But they are moving very swiftly and underlining that there is no legal bar on the IO, and that's why these actions are being taken.
Well, you never know. Viewers, we started with the Congress and we moved down the India ranks to the Aam Aadmi Party. What a day it is turning out to be. Unprecedented day, viewers. I was giving you the hard facts on the Congress, and guess what happens? Kejriwal gets a hard knock on the door from the Enforcement Directorate. And we are told that another summons has been served today, the 10th in the liquor gate scan. The alleged, let me be very clear here, because all these parties have become extremely litigious, viewers. You put a word edgeway here, wrong foot there, that's it. You will be called in, you will be hauled, and it's worse. Democracy is dying, viewers. It is dying in a large number of states where the opposition, and trust me, I know because I'm suffering on those accounts, but that's a different matter. I'm not the news here, but just watch these scenes. The 10th time the ED knocks to question Mr. Kejriwal. He has no protection from arrest today. The ED team has now reached the residence of Arvind Kejriwal. What is expected, we don't know, but viewers, there at the Kejriwal residence, we'll keep the visuals on one side because this is an important story also. At 7:30, I was going to bring you more details on this story. Why, viewers? Because today, the court has denied relief from arrest to Arvind Kejriwal, and you can see the guards there. And there's a negotiation going on between the ED team. ED has issued, viewers, almost a dozen now summons to Kejriwal. And with the court stepping up to the plate and saying, no way, can we give you relief from arrest? Viewers, anything could happen. Kejriwal could be arrested. Remember, 3 of his cabinet ministers are still in jail. 1 member of parliament of the Rajya Sabha in jail. None of them have got relief. They've applied for bail time and again, but got no relief. We're going to go straight across to our reporter. Anshul, what's happening? Anshul, what's happening?
So yes, a team of Enforcement Directorate.
So the drama continues, ladies and gentlemen, outside Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's residence. Heavy bandobast there, Delhi police officials, CRPF, RAF, a 3-level cordon that's now been created. The media has been cleared away. They've been put behind the first barricade. We'll try and go down to Ananya to get the latest update. He's right there live. We'll try and connect with him in just a bit. Arunima has been tracking the story, so as Anshul, we'll try and get you the latest. What we are given to understand at this point, media being cordoned off, phones to tablets, all being seized from Mr. Kejriwal, his family, and also the staff members present there. Some of it has been confiscated, 4 or 5 phones and 2 tablets. That's what we're given to understand. The ED wants to take him to there. So that's what they want to do. If he cooperates, they will take him. If he does not willingly cooperate, then they may detain him and under detention take him to the ED office, where after further questioning, which will be videographed as per the provisions of the PMLA and as per the procedures outlined there, and thereafter we'll have to see what happens. But this is a late Thursday evening drama that's unfolding outside the Delhi Chief Minister's residence. The first summon that was sent to him was in November 2023, 2nd November 2023. 9 summons that were ignored, and no interim relief by the Delhi High Court after a day-long hearing in the Delhi High Court by the division bench of the Delhi High Court. After that, we are seeing these pictures unfold out, this scenario unfold outside Mr. Kejriwal's residence. Daniel Francis, political analyst with us. Syed Asad Abbas, political analyst with us. Ravula Sridhar Reddy of the BRS stays on. Kapil Madan, lawyer with us. And Charu Pragya of the BJP also with us. Charu Pragya, one of the aspects, the ED, in terms of the ED action, the arrests that are being made, the opposition is saying all of this is being timed to the elections. Be it Kavita Kavlakuntala, be it Arvind Kejriwal, the Congress also saying with the income tax freezing the Congress's accounts.
See, exactly what we had been discussing a little while ago, Anand, because the timing has been controlled by the Aam Aadmi Party completely. If in November Mr. Kejriwal had turned up on the first summons, they wouldn't be saying this today. Or for the second summons, he prioritized a Vipassana, something that people would do in their vacation during a break, over turning up for questioning in an issue as sensitive as this one. Now, we have to also look at why this Delhi liquor scam is that important. It's not merely money being siphoned off. It is about more number of stores being opened. It is about the legal drinking age of young children coming down. It is about a situation of COVID where Delhi was dying because of lack of oxygen, where the ministers thought it more prudent to give money to liquor barons than to spend it on their healthcare structure. And RTI reports are going to, tell you what I'm telling you again. No hospitals were made, no efforts were made. Even today, the narrative that they're trying to float is an entirely false one. It is 100% untrue. If a chief minister is guilty of a crime, they need to pay for it. Now, Lalu Yadav had also gone to jail. Hemant Soren actually wrote a mine to himself, allotted it to himself on paper. He has to go to jail. Gone are the days where political patronage is going to protect anyone, not even a chief minister. And he's obviously been behaving in a way which makes him seem more and more guilty as the days pass.
Now we're going to understand Bhagwant Mann is going to set off from Punjab and touch down in the national capital sometime on Friday. So the drama continues. Syed Asad Abbas.
Anand, firstly, I was listening to Charu Pragya, the BJP spokesperson. I think, ma'am, you said that he's guilty of the crime. Respected ma'am, there are courts and there are better courts. They have much better wisdom than you and I. The Delhi High Court or the Supreme High Court. So therefore, you and I are nobody to pronounce him guilty or not. The courts will decide the same. Also, Anand Saab, let me bring to your notice, it is very interesting how the opposition is being targeted. Modi ji once called NCP a naturally corrupt party, but same Ajit Pawar gang is in his party now. So in the case of Eknath Shinde, why is it that BJP today has become a washing machine? Any opposition neta joins your party, there are no more summons by the ED, silent on the case, no progression on the case. This shows that the Bharatiya Janata Party today is not able to beat Arvind Kejriwal on ground. They've lost 3 consecutive elections in Delhi. The same reason why they want to arrest, they want to attack the opposition leaders who are strong in their respective states. Why? Because the Bharatiya Janata Party cannot beat them on ground, on elections. They cannot beat them with the public's mandate. So therefore, CBI, ED, IT today has become caged parrots.
How many seats did the Aam Aadmi Party win at the Lok Sabha elections in 2014, in 2019? Mr. Syed Asad Abbas, how many seats did the Aam Aadmi Party, do you think, is it going to win at the Lok Sabha elections in 2024? The news in Punjab, the News18 mega opinion poll shows a rout of the Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab at the Lok Sabha elections. So let's not make tall claims and compare apples to oranges. We are talking Lok Sabha elections. That's the allegation you're making now. At the the first summons on the 2nd of November 2023, Mr. Kejriwal went for a roadshow in Madhya Pradesh for ahead of the Vidhan Sabha elections in Madhya Pradesh. How many seats did the Aam Aadmi Party win in Madhya Pradesh, sir? And in how many seats did they were they even able to save their deposits? Please look through your numbers and tell us. Again, the second summons that came to him, he said he wants to go for Vipassana in Punjab. And please also quote on record what Mr. Kejriwal has called the ED and alleged that he is. Since you are saying that Mr. Kejriwal is being unfairly targeted by the ED, has Mr. Kejriwal walked the talk as far as the citizen's responsibility when he is summoned or he or she is summoned? Kapil Madan.
Give you a very quick response to this. I will make my, I will make two, political and legal points here. Now, legally, why do you arrest an individual? You arrest an individual because you want to ensure that the investigation happens in a proper manner, the evidence is collected in a proper manner, evidence, are not concealed or destroyed. Now, here is the case where, ED has admittedly sent about 8 summons. Now,
9 summons, sir. 9.
Yes, 9 summons. Now the point is, if ED already has material against the CM, then why would they wait for 9 odd summons and choose this action after the 9 summons? Don't you think it goes against the the basic tenet of the investigation? That
shouldn't you be crediting the ED that this is the Delhi Chief Minister in question? 9 summons. The same 9 summons were given to Mr. Hemant Soren also. People in constitutional posts, there has been a extra long rope that's been given, Mr. Kapil Madan. Don't try and turn the argument around and make the ED the villain because that's convenient for you. One should actually say, why did the ED wait for 9 summons?
Anand, if you know the basics of criminal jurisprudence,
what are the laws under PMLA, sir? What are the procedure under PMLA? What is the procedure for interrogation under the PMLA?
Okay.
Since you are a lawyer,
the procedure now. Yes. Now let me just give you the procedure. First, you have to see whether there is a predicate offence or not. Second, you have to see whether that predicate offence generates any procedures of crime or not. Third, you have to see whether the proposed accused has done any act to do the layering, integration, or what we generally say as,
What did the ED tell the court today, sir?
So allow me, ED just said Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is not appearing. My point here is very simple.
When the ED was questioned very clearly, do you have documents to prove Mr. Kejriwal's involvement? Did the ED reply in the affirmative in the Honorable High Court or not?
Anand, you can't change the goalposts. You have.
No, you are trying it, sir. I'm keeping it focused, sir. I'm ensuring that it stays on the legal aspects, sir.
No, Anand. You asked me the procedure. I gave you the procedure.
No, the procedure under PMLA is, sir, that the investigating officer has to question the accused inside the ED office, but the entire procedure will be videographed. It cannot be done. It cannot be done via teleconference, nor can it be done at the accused's residence.
Now, Anand, so you are making it clear that till this date, ED does not have any material that justifies that Arvind Kejriwal has committed any offence. Because had it been the case, you would be arresting him straight away. There would no questioning.
Sir, the ED is actually going the extra mile here, asking Mr. Kejriwal to cooperate, asking Mr. Kejriwal to follow procedure. The ED is still saying, we just want to question you at our office, please come along with us. Who is saying I will not come? Who is saying that you give me interim relief from coercive arrest? Who was denied any interim relief from coercive action by the Honorable Division Bench of the Delhi High Court?
Mr. Anand, I believe every citizen of this country has the right to avail his legal remedies, and Mr.
So when they are denied the legal remedies, can you stop the ED from exercising its own legal right? Because there is no stay against any action by the Delhi High Court.
Anand, I never said this. All I was trying to raise question on the manner and the time that the ED has already lost in reaching this stage. All I am saying is, now sometimes you really want to investigate, sometimes you want to play to the galleries. To my understanding, what happens is, today we saw the
What has the
SBI
ED
filing an
said in the
affidavit.
last 9 summons, and what has Mr.
Please,
Kejriwal
please be
said
patient.
and called
Anand,
the
please
ED in the last 9 summons, sir? Every time there has been a
Anand,
summon, what has the Aam Aadmi Party
Anand,
and Mr. Kejriwal,
Anand,
what all have they
Anand.
called the Enforcement Directorate? So
Now
who was
tell me.
playing to the gallery and who was
So,
not, sir?
so now, Anand, yes. Now, if you again, I would take you to the basic of criminal jurisprudence. If someone is not complying with the summons, you have the options of getting NBWs, non-bailable warrants, issued against that person. You please explain me whether ED has issued or got any non-bailable warrants against Kejriwal or not. You
That
please
will be
tell
the
me.
next step, because if he forcefully,
No.
if
So
he resists
then
arrest,
no,
or if
no.
he is
I'm sorry.
absconding, Mr.
Oh, you
Kejriwal
made,
is not
so
absconding.
you made,
Mr.
so you
Kejriwal
made
is
my
present
point.
in Delhi.
So yes,
Mr. Kejriwal is at his
thank you.
residence. The
Anand,
ED
thank
is
you.
saying, you please come with us for questioning. If he refuses now, then there will be
no,
detention. It's a step-by-step procedure, sir.
no, Anand,
Or,
thank you.
or are you
Thank you.
saying that the ED
Basically, you
is
prove
giving
my
Mr.
point.
Kejriwal an ultra-long rope? Are you upset with the
No,
ED for giving him an ultra-long rope?
no. I am not. I am neither upset nor I am happy. But I want to thank you because you made my point. Because you are saying ED has reached the residence of Mr. Kejriwal, and thereafter they will procure NBWs. You can't
No,
put the
no, they
cart
will not
before the
procure
horse. You
NBW.
will
I
not.
never said
No,
that they
you
will
said it.
procure
You said
NBW
this. No,
thereafter.
you
I
said
said the
this. No, you
next
said
step
this.
is
No,
if he
yes.
refuses, if he resists
Yes.
arrest. That will be the next step. Charu Pragya,
So
Charu
you will
Pragya
first
is...
arrest and then you will issue
One
NBW
minute,
warrants.
Daniel
This is what you're
Francis
trying
has
to
not
say.
spoken. Yes, Daniel Francis. Namaste, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. What a sad day for Indian politics. A lot of people I know who, when the India Against Corruption movement started, believed that there was some hope that institutional corruption in India would end, and supported. They came from different castes, different backgrounds, different political parties, and supported a movement. They built that movement. They supported that movement financially, and media was with that movement. And out of that movement comes Kejriwal, who has set very high standards for others, easily to blame others, without investigation, frame others, and call others corrupt, is now, a victim of his own standards. Uh, in 10 years, we saw how Kejriwal has changed completely. Earlier, he said that he will not take Gadi, he will not take Bangla, he will give a very transparent government to us. He was an RTI activist, and there is absolutely no transparency on his part. If he is clean, why is he not joining the investigation? If this is political, why is he not joining the investigation at all? If he has nothing to hide, why is he not joining the investigation? And that raises a lot of suspicion and a mystery around his position on this scam. Is this a scam or not? I don't think people of India have made up their mind, but he should come clean. And if he's not done anything, he should not run away from the investigation, rather join it. And I'm sure that if there's nothing on his hands, the system will not go against him. This is a very, very sad day for all those who supported Kejriwal, who built Kejriwal, who voted for Kejriwal, who believed in him, that here is a man who's challenging the system from outside and would do so when he comes inside. He's having the same problem that other politicians in this country
Right,
have.
Daniel Francis, regret, I've got just updates coming through. I have to interrupt. Big updates coming through. Section 144 has been imposed outside Arvind Kejriwal's residence. That's the update. And Arunima now telling us that the ED probe team, the inside news, ED probe team feels that the Delhi Chief Minister is being evasive. The Delhi Chief Minister is not cooperating. Arvind Kejriwal is not cooperating. Arvind Kejriwal is being evasive about questions that are being posed to him. The ED, that's what it feels. Is this now going to come where the ED says, no, Mr. Kejriwal, you have to come with us to our office. We need to question you at our office as per procedure. And if you resist, if you are evasive, then we will have to detain you. We'll have to see. We'll try and connect with Arunima in just a bit. Ananya is live with us from Mr. Kejriwal's residence, where our protesters have, our workers have come there and they're staging a protest, sitting there on the streets. They've been cordoned off, kept at a distance. Yes, Ananya, what's the scenario on ground?
Well, you can see right behind me, Anand, that these people.
No, though they are gathering in small, small gatherings. But what is very, very important to note, Arvind, at this point in time is that as very, very clearly 9 summons given and PNL, as for my legal understanding of court, very, very clearly and categorically, each summons is Enforcement Directorate is a ground for small corporation. These are 9 summons that he gives with up his own grade is responsible and legally, in fact, for any kind of a damage that is currently happening. You can see the visuals around the support of Kejriwal or Trump. I tried his residence and very clearly categorically, saying that his arrest is illegal. But this is the people that are saying it. The court have denied in any kind of a no coercive action, any kind of a protection has been denied. Remember that he has already faced 2 proceedings with regards to skipping of summons, with regards to disobeying orders by a public servant under Section 174 of the IPC. He had to secure a bail after appearing before a court in those 2 complaints that were filed by the Enforcement Directorate. Even after that, another summons was issued to him by the Enforcement Directorate. He again did not appear. And before the court, the Delhi High Court Division Bench headed by Justice Suresh Kumar Kait and Justice Manoj Jain very clearly asking him on the first day when the main petition was listed day before that why did you not appear before the Enforcement Directorate? Even if you had an apprehension, why did you not appear before the Enforcement Directorate? If you had an apprehension, then since 2023 when these summons are being issued, why did you not go and approach a court challenging those particular summons until now, or file an anticipatory bail application?
Right. I want to get a confirmation. Ananya, has Section 144 been imposed around Mr. Kejriwal's residence? And also, Arunima, will try and connect with her. We're getting the inside news that the ED source is telling CNN News 18 that the probe team is feeling that the Delhi Chief Minister is being evasive. He is not answering questions. Arunima is joining us. Yes, Arunima.
On expected lines, isn't it, Anand? The Enforcement Directorate team once again is of the opinion that the questions that they are putting to the Delhi Chief Minister and the answers that are being given are not really the complete answers. That's what the ED team feels, that the answers, as they're calling it, are evasive. Some would say that the Chief Minister perhaps is not cooperating with the probe team. So the grounds are being built. In the past also, we have seen that when these are grounds built by the Enforcement Directorate, it ultimately leads the IO to take a decision that to get the evidence, custodial interrogation is required. The Aam Aadmi Party is already alleging that everything seems to be pointing out to the fact that the ED is wanting to arrest Arvind Kejriwal. And the latest bit of information that we are getting also seems to be indicating, and what we heard earlier also from the Enforcement Directorate, that ideally they would prefer to question the Chief Minister in their office at their headquarters, near central Delhi. And that's what they're saying even now, that they are asking questions of the Chief Minister. The phones have been taken away, the digital devices have been taken away. So those will be scrutinized as well. There will be data extraction carried out from these digital devices. But in the case of Manish Sisodia, they realized, the ED and the CBI, that the relevant phones were destroyed much before the sleuths went knocking.
Yes.
Perhaps that's also a reason why they feel that questioning at the ED office will yield more proof, more result.
Right. Now, Keshav Prasad Maurya has just tweeted saying, भ्रष्टाचार रूपी असुर का अंत करने वाला 2024 लोकसभा चुनाव है, फिर एक बार मोदी सरकार. Meanwhile, Delhi Minister Imran Hussain has said, it is very unfortunate. It's a conspiracy to stop the AAP and Arvind Kejriwal. People of Delhi love Arvind Kejriwal and they'll respond to the BJP. So it's becoming a political fist fight, ladies and gentlemen. But the tussle is right outside Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's residence, where we are given to understand that the Enforcement Directorate officials will, in a short while from now, they are expected to ask Mr. Arvind Kejriwal to accompany them to the ED office, where they would like to further question him, because so far sources tell us Mr. Kejriwal is being evasive. The ED officials, along with certain Delhi police officials present inside Mr. Kejriwal's residence, armed with a search warrant, and also there is no interim relief provided by the division bench of the Delhi High Court to Mr. Kejriwal via his legal team, who sought a stay or any protection from coercive action, interim relief from any coercive action, and that was denied to them. The ED was also not stopped from doing its job. It's high drama. Stay with us here at CNN News 18.
Co-powered by
Yes, the Enforcement Directorate investigating officer feels that at the Chief Minister's residence, the questioning is not happening properly. They want to question him at the ED office. Now, this has been part of their 9 summons that they have sent as well. They've repeatedly asked Kejriwal to come to ED office. His stance has been that I'm available on video conferencing, but the ED-IO had taken a call that for questioning on video conferencing is not possible. The PMLA is very clear. The Prevention of Money Laundering Act says that the questioning will happen at the IO's office, which will be the ED headquarters in this case. It will be videographed and it will be recorded, and that evidence will be kept. So that being reiterated by the investigating team that they would want the Chief Minister to go to the ED headquarters and questioning to continue there. Once again, I have to point out to that precedent that has been recently set in the case of K. Kavita. Similarly, the IO had gone there, similar searches had been carried out, and the IO felt that the questioning must continue at the ED headquarters. Because K. Kavita was not willing, so arrest memo was served, and without transit remand, she was brought to Delhi and produced in court in the next 15 hours or so. So that precedent is being underlined, even though ED headquarters is extremely tight-lipped about what is their next course of action as far as need for custodial interrogation is concerned.
Well, Raghav Chadha of the Aam Aadmi Party has also tweeted कि लोकसभा चुनाव से ठीक पहले अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को गिरफ्तार करने की बहुत बड़ी साजिश चल रही है. He writes, केजरीवाल जी के साथ करोड़ों लोगों का आशीर्वाद है, कोई बाल भी भाका नहीं कर सकता. दिल्ली और पंजाब में हुए शानदार कामों की चर्चा आज पूरी दुनिया में हो रही है. केजरीवाल के शरीर को गिरफ्तार कर सकते हो, लेकिन केजरीवाल की सोच को नहीं. नाउ आतिशी, सौरभ भारद्वाज एंड नाउ राघव चड्डा आर सेइंग यू कैन अरेस्ट केजरीवाल, यू कैन टेक हिम अवे फिजिकली, बट द आइडिया दैट इज अरविंद केजरीवाल, यू कैन नॉट शट दैट डाउन एंड यू कैन नॉट टेक दैट अवे, सो यू कैन नॉट अरेस्ट दैट आइडिया. So has the Aam Aadmi Party leadership somewhere resigned to the fact that Arvind Kejriwal will be taken into ED custody today? That's the question. They are alleging that they are all out there to arrest. So far the ED has not even mentioned the word arrest. They are saying, Mr. Kejriwal, as per the PMLA and the clauses under which you have got to be summoned and questioned, you have to come to the ED office because you need to be questioned as per procedure. The questioning will be videographed. There cannot be a conversation by teleconference or remote, and it is not convenient for us to come interrogate you or question you at your residence. So you have to come with us to your residence. Now we've got the RAF deployment outside Arvind Kejriwal's residence. Akash Sharma now just getting us these details. These are live visuals of now some increased police bandobast present there, senior officials.